Hello Magic the Gathering players, I am Prospo, and I welcome you to EDH Scout. Today we will return to MTG Arena to play a tribal deck in the historic ranked. Hope you enjoy. The Knights are a nice and aggressive tribe. It is very unrepresented in the historic format though. One of the popular Knights tribal decks is the 3-color Mardu Knights 1. We will keep the aggressive nature of the tribe, but we will try to compete in the historic ranked in the Golden Tire, using a mono-white build. The main focus of the deck is to curve out and finish the game with big attacks by turn 4 or 5. We will start the game with total 8 copies of aggressive 1-drops, Dauntless Bodyguard and Venerable Knight. On the 2-drop slot we have 4 copies of Knight of Grace and 2 copies of Worthy Knight. On the 3-drop slot we have our Lord, 4 copies of Benalish Marshal. Of course we have 4 copies of History of Benalia. In the 4-drop slot, we have our finishers, 2 copies of Kinsbaile Cavalier and 3 copies of Valiant Knight. The double strike hopefully will give us the advantage. We use Circle of Loyalty and Rally the Ranks for anthem effects. For removal we use 4 Banishing Lights, 2 Glass Caskets and 2 Cavaliers of Dawn. We use total 22 lands, with 4 Castles Ardenvale and 18 plains. Let's jump into the gameplay. Let's kick off with the first game. A bit of a slow start, but worth keeping, as we have many lords, and enough mana to play them. The opponent plays the cycling deck. Finally something to play before turn 3. Let's start playing the 3-drops. The opponent is setting up. We need to increase the pressure. The History of Benalia may help us to go for a big attack in a few turns. The opponent thinks for a bit, and does nothing for a turn. This is suspicious. Next turn, we play Valiant Knight and swing for 16 damage, but the opponent has an answer. The opponent does a bit of cycling, and builds up his board. Ready for the big turn, we play Benalish Marshal and swing for 20 damage. The opponent has to block. The opponent is now at 1 life. Let's see if he can respond. The Zenith Flare takes him back to 9 life. Is this enough? We now have enough mana to play both Banishing Light and Benalish Marshal. This gives us another big attack. The opponent does a lot of cycling, realizes that he has no answers and scoops. Let's go for a second game. We have to mulligan at 6. Nice hand, we will curve out nicely. The opponent plays the Eyes at Spells deck. We have to increase the pressure. Let's see if we are fast enough. Let's remove this before it's too late. Another threat from the opponent that we can remove. The opponent is at 3 life, and we have lethal damage on the board. The opponent has the perfect answer. We need to build up our board again. Nice play from the opponent. Manages to deal 16 damage and win the game. Third game, and we have a nice starting hand. The opponent plays with the Goblins deck. Let's see how our deck performs against one of the most popular historic decks. We curve out nicely to History of Benalia, and attack for 4 more damage. We need to remove the Goblin Chieftain, otherwise, the opponent will play a hasty Muxus next turn, and win the game. Unfortunately, the opponent finds another haste enabler. Luckily, the opponent whiffs, and leaves us to win the game. Game 4, and we have a very nice hand for another time. The opponent plays with a colorless deck. We curve out nicely to History of Benalia, but the opponent has many blockers. Tempered Steel boosts all the opponent's creatures. Let's see which deck is more aggressive. Turn 4 and we attack for 9 damage, also ready for a big next turn. Our 4-drop Kithkin will save the day. Final game, and we have a moderate hand. The opponent plays with a mono-red storm deck. We need to remove the Steam Kin, otherwise the opponent will go off. The opponent has too many cost reduction spells. We need to remove as many as possible. Let's remove Burgi as well. Another Burgi. We are out of removals. The opponent found the Ingus, with enough cost reduction on the battlefield, and goes infinite. Good game. That was not bad for a mono-white knight tribal deck. We had 3 wins and 2 losses in the Golden Tower of the Historic Ranked. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share and subscribe. See you soon with more MTG Arena gameplay videos.